Hi everyone, welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm so glad that you've joined us for another informative half-hour journey. Coming up, Western Roundup showcases communities being connected with potable water and persons starting farming businesses. Plus, understanding community transmission of COVID-19 and how to prevent it. Sit back and relax for these and more interesting features. Stay with us.
Find out where you are to vote by calling the EOJ or checking the EOJ website. Remember to bring your voter ID card. Current voter ID cards are valid until December 2020. Remember, you may still vote without your ID card, but the process will be longer. Listen to the instructions of the presiding officer. Mark your ballot behind the voting booth and return your ballot to the presiding officer folded. Once the counterfoil is removed, your ballot cannot be traced back to you. Dip your finger in the ink and watch as your ballot is deposited into the ballot box.
Your vote is your voice. Make it count.
Jamaica, I can help you protect our citizens.
Jamaica Eye will play a part in increasing your public safety.
Jamaica Eye is part of an island-wide network of camera surveillance systems designed to increase the safety of you, our citizens. If you have a camera system outside your home or office facing a public space, log on to jamaicaeye.gov.jm today. Jamaica Eye, we're all connected. The Ministry of National Security, creating a safer and prosperous Jamaica.
This week in our Western Roundup segment, we'll continue to bring you more human interest stories with team member Tashian Stennett out west.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Western Roundup. Today, we rejoice with the residents who finally received potable water, those who now boast state-of-the-art infrastructure, persons who received care packages, and some young people who have started farming as a business. Stay with us. We'll be right back. "30 years without potable water can definitely be a burden, but today, the residents of Flower Hill in St. James are elated, having received running water through their pipes.
I'm very, very, very happy because you see, this water problem, it has been plaguing this community for years and years and years gone by. And for us to see water turn on today, for us to get it in the house, that's a big boost.
The project was executed by the Rural Water Supply Limited at a cost of $110 million and was funded through the government's Cap-A program. Similarly, over in Claremont, Hanover, the residents received water in their pipes after 48 years without the commodity. The $400 million project is being spearheaded by the National Water Commission and will benefit approximately 8,000 persons. Both water systems were commissioned by Prime Minister Andrew Holness and are equipped with 3 lifting stations, storage tanks, and gravity lines. Back in Barretttown, St. James, the residents are singing praises for the new infrastructural developments that have significantly boosted their community.
I love to see where I go on right now for this good while. At the first, we see this I go on, you see, and we love it. People in the community, them feel good about what's going on. Here we have a park now, and it look good. We usually have a little violence in the community, but everything kind of cool now.
7-year-old Tamelia Thompson is particularly happy for the new state-of-the-art park.
I feel nice and I give God blessing, and yeah, I love God. Having fun and my friends, I meet some new friends.
The other infrastructure projects include a multi-purpose community center, the removal of zinc fences along Vietnam Road, and a newly constructed infant school. Resident representative for World Bank Jamaica, Ozan Sivimli, praised the project for its impact.
Barretttown is one great example of how we can actually make a change, make a difference, and with some investments. And it is community development, but I would say it's actually a community transformation. And I hope you have seen what kind of a transformation we have gone through here in Barrett-town. What makes this program really successful, in my view, is that it's combined with infrastructure, basic infrastructure, roads, pavements, street lights, piping, electricity, and more, and schools, safe passages, but it also has the social intervention with skills development, life coaching, entrepreneurship skills.
The projects were completed under the European Union-funded Poverty Reduction Program and the World Bank-funded Integrated Community Development Project, ICDP. The effects of COVID-19 continues to bear heavily on our nation, but the government, through partnerships, continues to support the vulnerable. Residents of St. Elizabeth were the most recent recipients of care packages through a partnership under the Ministry of National Security's Live Good campaign and J. Ray & Nephew Limited. Key stakeholders accepted the packages on behalf of the residents and expressed their gratitude.
We recognize throughout this COVID period that the students have been, I would say, deprived, because we have gotten the calls and we have been in touch with parents and students on a whole, and this gift today will be something great for them. And the biggest surprise and the fruit basket that we got, that's a difference. Normally you get a lot of staples, but this added addition will be much appreciated.
We are proud recipient of the care packages today by J. Ray & Nephew Foundation. We have received tremendous support from the foundation, and this will go a far way in helping to reach out to the needs of some of our students as well as members of our community who are in need.
Finally, in Westmoreland, we highlight a group of young people that are contributing to Jamaica's food security even during this pandemic. They call themselves YIELD, Young Innovative Entrepreneurs Leading Development.
This is a group of 20 young individuals who saw it fit to come together and go in the farming industry.
During the COVID time, when we couldn't sell, we started a farm-to-home delivery service as well. So we didn't give up, and we have a group of hard-working persons, and we are willing to grow it to feed ourselves. We want to treat it as a business.
Yes, we want to expand on the hotel industry. I know that hotel needs like vegetables on large scales and so forth. Yes. So we want to supply them. Yes, while supplying ourselves also.
Yes, we're interested in economic growth, and we understand that agriculture is the backbone and it provides food security to Jamaica. So we are really interested in that as well.
Minister of Tourism Edmond Bartlett expressed satisfaction with the young entrepreneurs.
I'm excited with prospects. I want to come back here and see not just your sweet potato, but also the many other things that there's, and to see the dream of making this into agriculture. I want to come and see the 100 coconut palms that you're putting in. And I want you to use you as an example to other young people across Jamaica to get involved and to recognize that, look, it's not about what is given to you, it's about what you have put into the whole process that will make you a fulfilled and developed person. So, congratulations.
Quite inspiring. We wish them every success. Well, that's all for the program today. As usual, thanks for watching Western Roundup, where we take you from the corners of St. Elizabeth to the hilly terrains of St. Anne. Take care.
An important message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. What to do if you think you have been exposed or are experiencing signs and symptoms of COVID-19. Immediately call 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683. In addition, you should stay at home. Don't go to work, school, or any public place. Do not use public transport, and avoid visitors to your home. You may need to do this for up to 14 days to reduce the spread of the infection. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security has been overhauling its facilities and services as part of its modernization plan to better meet the demands of the population. Our next feature highlights some of the achievements to date and other plans for the 2020-2021 financial year. Take a look.
We are preparing as how we must respond to that and develop the country and balance its economic ability to earn.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security is improving office facilities, modernizing systems and procedures, and enhancing the labour market, while assisting and empowering the poor and most vulnerable in the society, all part of the development roadmap for the 2020-2021 financial year. Among the Ministry's planned activities for the months ahead is the improvement of cash benefits from the Programme of Advancement through Health and Education, PATH. The children, senior citizens, persons with disabilities, pregnant and lactating women registered under this program will be receiving their cash benefits electronically as the Ministry makes the shift away from using checks this year.
This includes direct deposits to bank accounts as well as engaging more service providers to increase access to the benefits.
Back-to-school grant payments introduced in 2018 for PATH student beneficiaries continues this year, with $600 million going to provide support for over 160,000 children. In addition, the Minister of Labour and Social Security, Mike Henry, says he will be moving to change the qualifying criteria for PATH enrollment to enable an additional 50,000 poor persons to benefit. Other Social Security interventions on the agenda include the development of 2 more codes of practice necessary for the implementation of the Disabilities Act. These are the codes of practice for healthcare and health facilities and public passenger vehicles. The Ministry also plans to expand intervention services under the Early Stimulation Program to reach children with disabilities in St. Anne, St. Mary, and Trelawney using its mobile unit. In addition, 200 parents and caregivers of children with special needs or disabilities will receive training in coping skills and strategies. More experts will be engaged to cater to the developmental needs of young children with disabilities. And the Ministry will expand partnerships with private sector agencies to enhance the intervention services for young children with disabilities. As the Ministry moves to secure the future for Jamaicans in the 2020-21 fiscal year and beyond, it will be advancing the modernization of the NIS system to have all benefit applications online. Work also continues to automate the application and approval processes for funeral grants and to complete 2 surveys aimed at identifying factors affecting wider acceptance and contribution to the scheme, as well as to improve customer service.
The economy is going digital, and government must get on the digital highway. A new life certificate will also be introduced this year. It will be machine readable, more user friendly for the clients, and will allow us to be more efficient.
The Ministry will continue to support workforce development and the labour market this year. One of the ways is by promoting access to the Labour Market Information System LMIS platform to benefit job seekers, employers, researchers, educators, planners, students, and other stakeholders.
The reach is far and wide, Mr. Speaker, is currently there, as 26,260 job seekers are presently registered on the LMIS website. As we therefore anticipate a significant increase in these numbers by the end of the financial year,
the Ministry intends to place 500 persons through the LMIS this fiscal year. Meanwhile, Phase 4 of the LMIS website upgrade will be undertaken, as well as Phase 2 of the mobile application. The headquarters of the Jamaica Household Workers Association will be branded as an LMIS satellite station, where members can access job opportunities. Also, the Ministry will be conducting 20 employability skills sessions to increase the number of job seekers placed in gainful employment. The Labour Ministry will also partner with the National Housing Trust to prepare and place beneficiaries and begin a future of work study. Jamaica will have a child labor risk identification model in place this year.
We are at the advanced stage of completion of the model, and if all goes well, it should be completed by September and then implemented. Once completed, the model will assist us in identifying geographical areas and sectors with the highest probability of child labor to implement measures to disrupt its trajectory.
Government is partnering with the International Labour Organization and the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean to develop this preventative tool. Work to further improve the delivery of the Overseas Employment Orientation Program continues this year. This is being done in collaboration with the International Organization for Migration, IOM, through the Promoting Integrity in International Recruitment and Migrant Skill Development Jamaica project.
Our ministry began implementing the revamped orientation program for departed workers in January this year. The Heart Trust NTA was engaged to deliver employment readiness training in two components to departing workers. First component is designed to prepare workers for the workplace by exposing them to the concept and practice of professionalism, quality customer service, delivery, effective communication, workplace safety, business technology, work priorities, and social interaction.
The second component, aimed at providing guidance in basic agricultural science, will be largely practical. For this fiscal year, the ministry will be modernizing its warehouse and distribution services as it moves to improve disaster management. A new data collection app is being developed that will allow its partners to assist with identifying persons in need of disaster relief. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security is also carrying out major work to create improved office space and customer service island-wide. These include renovations to the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish office at 18 Ripon Road to facilitate ease of access for persons with disabilities and improved parking. Also, the customer service section of its offices at 14 National Heroes Circle is to be renovated and technological upgrades made to the communication systems within the ministry. Meanwhile, $109 million will be spent to completely renovate the parish office in Sam Sharp Square, Montego Bay, while a new facility is to be built in Maypen, Clarendon.
In Portland, Mr. Speaker, the ministry through the National Insurance Fund and Factories Corporation of Jamaica will be developing lands at Boundbrook to facilitate a modern urban center.
Those are just some of the major plans of the Ministry of Labour and Social Security for the 2020-2021 fiscal year.
An important message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness. How to wash your hands. Firstly, wet your hands. Then apply some soap. Rub your hands palm to palm. Lather the backs of your hands. Scrub between your fingers. Rub the backs of fingers on the opposing palms. Then clean your thumbs. Make sure to wash your fingernails and fingertips. Rinse your hands. Then dry with a single-use towel. Use this towel to turn off the faucet. And now your hands are clean. When to wash your hands? After coughing or sneezing, after taking public transportation, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare and eat food, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, after handling animals or animal waste. An important message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF, celebrating over 20 years of investment in community development. JSIF has forged relationships with international funding partners as well as private and public sector entities. Let us continue to invest to reduce vulnerabilities. Let us build our social capital and resilient infrastructures to ensure full participation in Vision 2030. JSIF, investing for community development.
The novel coronavirus continues to be a global public health threat, as this very contagious virus still has no cure and is likely to spread rapidly and widely if preventative measures are not taken seriously. One of the category of spreads we really want to avoid is called community transmission. Watch this next feature for an explanation of the term as it relates to COVID-19 and the precautions we should take to prevent it.
Our new reality is being pierced by a novel virus, COVID-19, lingering in our homes, offices, and streets, jabbing its fingers into our country's coffers, and playing front page on newspapers and lead stories whenever you stop for a watch. On March 10, there was one, and from one to two, to few, then to many. The not-so-simple truth is that the virus has spread. There are cases without a trace, so much so that here in Jamaica, we're now paying keen attention to the topic of community transmission or spread. As it relates to COVID-19, community transmission or community spread means the source of the infection is unknown. So someone has become infected with the virus, but health officials are not sure where or how that person was infected.
So the plan has always been to use restrictions to minimize, in the first instance, imported cases, to contain through contact tracing, through quarantining and isolation, the threat that may present itself in terms of potential cases, and to use that time to enhance the public health infrastructure in order to deal with what would have been an inevitable scenario given the nature of this virus, where it becomes more widespread across the country in terms of people picking up the virus from others and not even knowing that they have it because they may be asymptomatic and not knowing where it has come from, as is the case with earlier cases where we have a travel history that's linked to the virus. That phase is called community transmission or community spread.
Within this outbreak, there are 4 different phases. So there's no cases. We changed from no cases to what is called sporadic cases, just a few cases, which are likely to be imported cases. And then we have clusters of cases. That's where we have persons who are linked to each other. So you got the infection from a known person, and that is cluster. So they're probably in a geographic area together, or they went to an event together. The next phase is called community transmission. This is when there's large number of cases that are not linkable to other cases. And there will be multiple unrelated clusters.
So now that we understand community transmission, here's how it's getting a little more personal for us as Jamaicans.
It is expected, it is understood that it will happen. It is the way the virus works, and that is the case in all countries. So when you hear us say we have cases under investigation, which sometimes we put in the releases, it means that some cases don't have an immediate and obvious connection with an original person who traveled in.
We have to look at what we're seeing now. We are seeing more and more cases that are coming up without links. So it is telling us that we are having more and more local transmission of cases, and the numbers are getting larger and larger. So there is obviously a signal going out to all of us what we're dealing with.
The issue of community transmission is one that we think needs to be ventilated and to hopefully generate greater levels of sensitivity and understanding by the general population. Community spread could mean patients who are not as ill to require hospital care and therefore would have to be staying at home and isolating in order to get well.
Practice social distancing. If you're in public, stand 6 feet away from the persons around you. Avoid public spaces or crowded areas. Stay home. If it's absolutely necessary that you go out, wear a mask. Always wash your hands with soap and water. And if you can't, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer until you get access to soap and water.
But if we don't manage the virus, then it could spread too fast, too quickly, and could be a real challenge for public health to respond. So that terminology of managed spread is something that Jamaicans are going to have to eventually adopt, recognize, and understand. And that's the community spread phase that the efforts of public health have to be working on.
Mosquitoes will breed in containers that hold water. Tightly cover water storage containers such as drums, buckets and tanks, or cover the water surface with cooking oil. Punch holes in all tins, plastic containers and boxes to prevent the collection of water before disposal. Cover old tires or fill with dirt. Scrub all vases once per week to remove mosquito eggs and dispose of garbage by placing in plastic bags. Do your part to prevent mosquito breeding. A message from the Ministry of Health.
Jamaica, this is Kevin Downswell. We original. We're blessed. We have something about us that the world craves. We don't need to compromise. We don't need to rob. We don't need to thief nobody. Everybody who watch this have something unique in them that God placed in you, that was used to bring you favor, was used to bring you wealth. Find it. It's inside of you. Whether they're on the street side, something special inside of you. Whether they're at the bar or drink rum and you try to drink away your troubles, listen to me. And I'll say go. If you find that thing is what? It's the very thing that will bring you wealth, the very thing that will bring your life to a level you never imagined. Everybody out there have a choice. And my challenge to you is choose to do the right thing. Choose to not bust that gun. Choose to not smoke that weed. Choose the right thing. Your decision will create a habit, and your habit will create a future. That means if your decision is wrong every day, your future will end up being popped down. But if you decide that you're not going to do that, and you're going to stand up for the right, watch it. Your future big. You're blessed. Jamaica, you're blessed. Youth, you're blessed. Girl, you're blessed. Love.
By order, under the Disaster Risk Management Act, you must wear a mask in all public access places and in public transportation. If you wear a mask and I wear a mask, we are all safer.
We've come to the close of another interesting edition of Jamaica Magazine, but be sure to join us again tomorrow for another show. Until then, continue to watch this and other programs by logging on to our website, jis.gov.jm, or subscribing to our YouTube channel. You may also find us on all the major social media platforms and through our mobile app that's Android and iOS compatible. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry, urging you to stay COVID-19 free.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.